Changing like England changed. Just like it.
That's just a great Joe Strummer impression overall. Just be like, London and England is burning.
And it's not as different than it was before.
It's not like it used to be. It's changing. England, 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 England.
They don't
People
have,
in the streets, England.
they don't have kitchen roll. They have paper towel. They don't have a bathroom. It's a loo.
You need an adapter for your hair dryer. Welcome back to Show Yours Podcast. I'm Jackie Agnew.
I'm Johnny DeVito.
Time was.
Oh my goodness.
It was a windy one.
We just got through the whirlwind, ladies and gentlemen, and we're back.
Well, thank you for tuning in. Sorry, we've, I guess in your guys'
Nothing has changed in their minds.
Yeah. We missed 1 week. We took a 1 week break, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Well, we got you here. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, then leave a 5-star review and give us a follow. Give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook. Follow us if you see us walking down the street. Lurk in the bushes. Make it kind of fun, like a fun little game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Try to see how many weapons Jackie has on her keychain. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
right?
I'm fucking strapped.
Yeah, definitely. I like how all your friends just give you brass knuckles for your birthday. It's really cute.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. And tell your friends. Tell your family.
Talk to your neighbor.
Yeah, talk to your
Absolutely,
tell your ex-lover. Be like,
Yeah.
hey, I know things ended kind of weirdly.
I know you haven't
Yeah.
talked to them in a long time.
It's been years.
But what
Yeah.
a way to break the ice. Be like, you know what? I think you'd really like this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Listen to the podcast, thinking of you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rekindle that love just to burn it again to the ground.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
because
think
let's be
that's-
honest, she's too good for you, and you're
you
not
know
gonna.
Yeah. You're never gonna make it work.
But you can have one more, little stint, little fun in the sun,
Yeah,
and I
little
think
little summer romance.
that'd be nice. Wouldn't that be nice? And just like chilling to the smooth, sultry sounds of the Show Me Yours podcast.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Hell
yeah. We got a doozy of a record to get into.
Oh my goodness. How much time do you got?
Yeah, but before that, we of course have some fun things to discuss. First of all, I need to make a correction to the Frozen Dead Guy story that
Okay.
we all remember Frozen Dead Guy days.
See, we're accountable. We check her. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
We keep our ear to the ground.
And when I was, reading off the story, we were all very, into this story. Our minds were
We
turning.
thought about taking a trip there.
Exactly. So I'm so glad that you.
I thought that was still okay.
Yeah,
all right,
so
all
we
right.
thought about taking a trip to, I believe, it was Iceland.
Something like that.
Yeah. Small correction. This is actually in Colorado, I believe. Colorado.
Which is even better.
I mean, that's a huge win for us.
Yeah, it
we
might
did
not
an
be
entire story. Like we followed this entire story.
So this is what's hilarious about this is as I was reading the story, I just put like an Icelandic twist on every name when it was just like American names.
I
These
mean,
Viking sounding motherfuckers.
I'm not even embarrassed.
Oh, that's
I'm not
just
even.
Jack Smith from
Yeah.
down the road.
I think I said the town name was Nederland, when I think
I remember that, but Nederland, Colorado? Where the fuck is...
I think it's like Nederland or
Netherland?
something. Nederland.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I think it was Colorado.
I am blown away right now.
And everything. I was just like, putting this, trying to, pronounce it with, I was trying to show respect to the culture.
Of course.
And it was just...
You gonna put a Guggenfluben in there? And a Strobenflaben? What the fuck?
So, Denver, I think I'm going to have to... Now, this might just be false news, fake news again. I might have fucked that up again. But so the way I found this out is that I was trying to do research on... just in my spare time, I was like, well, let's see if Frozen Dead Guys Festival has like an Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
And it said it was located in Colorado or whatever fucking state that it's in. Because I was trying to, it said that they do Colorado. Yep. Estes Park, Colorado. And because they said they do like a musical lineup, right? And I was trying to see like the lineup. I was trying to
who plays Dead Guy Fest?
Yeah,
just 8 covers of the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Just 8 cover bands of the Grateful Dead.
But this is actually great news for those of us on the North American continent.
Definitely.
Because now we can do a road trip out to Frozen Dead Guy Days.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, it's something fun to
fucking
talk about, but let's get serious. We probably weren't going to make it to Finland, and if we did, how embarrassing would that be? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I'm just like,
Reason,
I'm not really...
we get to customs. He's like, reason for your visit?
Like Frozen Dead Guy Days, dude.
Like, that does not exist.
He's like, everyone knows that's in Colorado.
Oh, man. We're just passing everybody as they're going to the real Frozen Dead Guy Days, and we just have to fucking hang out in Finland, and nobody's there because everybody's gone, obviously, to the greatest party of all time in Colorado.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, and
we
it's
just gotta pay like fucking. Like, I need an emergency flight to Colorado from Finland. Like, that'll be $9,000.
You just do it to Kevin McAllister's mom, like any way that we can get
Yeah,
there. All of a sudden
yeah.
we're in the back of a
Oh,
passenger
With
dude.
a polka band.
We end up just with John Candy.
Yeah.
Driving from Iceland.
Yeah.
The polka king of the Midwest. He's gonna get
man.
us there.
It's hilarious because it kind of puts a new, you kind of see the story through new eyes now, knowing that this is an American thing.
I'm seeing you through new eyes. What are you? This is top-notch journalism. I mean, I know that we're kind of fucking around here, but we're here to have fun. We're here to, you know what I mean, spread a little joy. But the least that we could do
Is get the location.
I don't know why. I don't know where I got fucking.
I just think it'd be fun if it was Iceland.
You know,
I swear, maybe I just assumed from the name seemed Icelandic, or maybe I have no
Nederland
idea.
is so funny.
Nederland. The whole episode, I keep Nederland.
I'm trying to give you a break, right? Because this is like tonight, this Saturday is going to be our only evening off that we've had in so long. You know what I mean, right? Like just constantly, working, I guess, weekend night off. And it's going to be, I think we need to rest. You know what I mean? I think we need to recuperate because like I'm just slow now. Like I'm just noticing that I'm like, getting
Now.
Well, yes, I mean I definitely was before, but it's I'm saying, I need to go right here as I'm like changing lanes and going left. Like I know the difference between the two or whatever, but like I'm just like openly fucking up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To be fair, you and I both just took this very matter-of-factly. We're like, yeah, that's exactly where it is, Jackie.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
and I said, and we not one of us were like, there was no
No
point to the story where
question,
we're like,
my
I don't
absolute
know.
authority,
We have no
yeah.
reason not to believe
Well,
it.
because you see, because I was. How could you possibly when I was pronouncing everything?
man,
I was
the
making
cell.
everyone was making everything.
I thought you Googled the land and stuff like that. Maybe got pronunciations, phonetic, spellings of some of these places. So you could just like actually nail
I
this.
actually was sitting here now. I'm like, man, it's so cool. Like Jackie does all the homework. She brings this story. She learns the pronunciations
God.
of these strange Icelandic towns.
I wonder. We got to apologize to the listener because if there's anybody out there
That's
that's maybe
booked
gone
tickets.
to work,
Yeah.
or just told people about Frozen Dead Guy Days, you're gonna like
You're gonna look like a real ass.
Yeah. And I mean that's on Jackie.
I was mad at this dude
I
on like
apologize.
he's on a first date or something like that. He's just trying to impress it.
Yeah.
She like Googles it while he's in the bathroom or whatever like that.
Oh my
Yeah.
Comes back,
God.
she's like,
Or she,
you
or
mean
he's-
Colorado, motherfucker?
Yeah,
Or
she
she just gets up and leaves.
Or
He
she
has
just
no idea.
knows, right? He's like, he's trying to impress her, talking about this this foreign, festival, this crazy tradition they have in this small mountain town in Iceland. She's like, you mean Frozen Dead Guy Days Fest in Colorado?
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
he just digs his heels in. He's like, no,
No.
this one's in
Yeah.
Iceland.
Yeah. I'm gonna listen to these
I
three
guess
idiots.
my
everything
apologies.
that we say with a grain of salt on this. And,
I have been on that note though. Like I have been noticing myself make the stupidest mistakes recently, and just because like not getting a lot of sleep or whatever. And like yesterday, I went to Walmart. And as I was like, I got there and it was just meant to be like a short, like, 20-minute break from work or whatever. So I'm like, all right, driving to Walmart. And then like I park. And as I'm getting out of the car, I realized that I did not bring my wallet or my purse or like anything. Like I just got in the car and went.
I'll be honest with you, even as you said it, you're like, I went to Walmart.
Oh my god! And this is a funny story too.
You got caught posing.
As I was walking in to Walmart, I was wearing my core shirt, and I'm walking in. I was like on my phone or whatever, and then I hear some guy being like, "Hey, nice shirt." And I looked up, and it's like this full, like decked out, like punk rocker, like wearing a vest, patches, circle jerk shirt. But by the time I looked up and kind of pieced together like what was happening, he had already kind of passed, and then I didn't want to be a dick and not say anything. I was like, oh yeah, nice patches.
Thanks, I sewed it myself, I guess.
Nice patches.
Nice patches.
Some HA guys right there. He's like, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And he
Had to
was
kill a guy for
wearing he was wearing a dye job patch too, and I even noticed it, and I was gonna be like, oh, dye job, but he was already so I just said patches.
I like that we're gonna see this person in the future.
I'm
and you're just
sure.
gonna know, yeah, exactly. Like
And
how
I'm
he's
gonna be like, you're the guy who I saw.
Yeah,
inside
for
of
sure gonna
Walmart.
see this person.
yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say nice patches to him every time.
Nice patches. Just call them patches,
Hey,
right?
patches. Hey,
Patches.
oh,
Yeah.
Patches O'Houlihan.
Oh,
It
that
was
patches
like-
over there.
There was like a homeless guy sitting. This whole exchange happened like right in front of this homeless guy sitting there, and I kind of it happened, and I like shook my head, and he was just sitting there being like, patches.
Couldn't single out one thing that we have in common. Take the fucking core shirt off.
Okay, we have it's time for foot fetish.
Foot fetish.
Yes. Okay, so I thought it would be fun to kind of get into other Bigfoot-adjacent cryptids.
I'm into
So other like different
Things on walking on 2 feet.
Yeah.
Well, like I mean, yeah, but you could also have like a chupacabra and stuff like that. You know,
Oh,
like,
okay.
like,
Just
so I guess, like,
all
a
sort of
cryptid would
mythical
be-
vibes here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Well,
man, I love a
Just- I
chupacabra
wouldn't
real
say
quick.
mythical.
Yeah.
I'd say hard to find.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's hiding.
We
Love a chupacabra.
well, so different areas different areas have their own kind of Bigfoot. Everyone has a Bigfoot myth of some sort, which is
sure.
of course just only validates more of the existence of a Bigfoot. Because
Absolutely,
everyone.
100%.
And so
Surprised you use the word myth.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm all loopy. Yeah.
I went to Walmart without a wallet. I'm going
I
Bigfoot
did.
and myth.
Yeah.
I need some sleep.
Oh, I'm loopy right now. I just realized like I went to I was hosting a late show, so you don't want to show up like wasted. You still want to drink on a Friday night, but like you still have to do your job. So I didn't like start drinking until 10 o'clock, and I'm
Right.
feeling stuff right now, man. Woo.
Oh no.
No, it's all good. We're
Bubbles?
hanging out. Oh, I mean, I'm always bubbling, baby. That makes a splash.
We're at a roll and boil at all times.
Fuck, I notice it like when I get tired, like I mix up I jumble my words a lot, and I think the head injuries have something to do with it as well.
Sure,
But yeah. But I'll notice it happened last night on stage. As I was doing a bit, I realized after that I had like fucked up the words or whatever, but I'd already gone past it. It was too,
Yeah.
I couldn't go back. And then I
Yeah.
just the whole rest of the time just standing there feeling like a fucking idiot, being like, oh. It was just like in my Blue Man bit, I said, instead of saying we never went to ACDC, I said we never went to the ACDC or whatever. And it was, and then
Nice
the whole
patches.
time I was like, oh my God. I just said the ACDC. Yeah.
The ACDC is pretty awesome. If you would have called it the Walmart earlier,
The Walmart,
that would have been
yeah.
perfect.
I make the stupidest. I do that a lot. I'll fucking watch back sets I recorded, and I'll be like, I totally fucked that up and didn't even notice at the time. Like, I'll fuck up my words a lot.
Oh yeah, I get a little too loose up there. I gotta trim some fat. You know what I mean?
Keep it loose.
All right. So our first cryptid we're getting into is the Billiwhack monster. So I'll put up a picture of this lovely creature. I have a bit of a, so I've had these tabs open on my phone for over a month because we were going to do this on another episode, then we ran out of time. And so I don't know why I picked this tab, but I'm just going to start reading and see where it goes.
Okay.
This is one of those stories that so far I can only attribute to local urban legend dating back from World War II. As the story goes, a tall, muscular, ape-like humanoid with long claws, gray hair, and ram-like horns on the top of its head lurks around the area of Santa Paula in Ventura County.
Kind of making this hot.
Right?
Do it like not sexy. Like
Yes, he
I'm
said
sorry, I
he's feeling all
couldn't
kinds of
possibly.
things this morning.
Yeah.
getting a little breathy on me here. I like it.
You know what? Fucking.
Oh, boy.
You know what? I also have.
That's why we sit on separate couches.
Yeah. I also have realized, or rather, our friend Justin Nickel has ruthlessly pointed out to me during trivia, since we started helping out with trivia, that I say a lot of things weirdly. And
Really?
every time, like, we were doing one of the picture round for this week was types of peppers. And as I was doing it, he's like, "You say peppers weirdly," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "You're saying it like peppers," and I was like, "I'm just
There
putting
was a little
fla-
pep in that
Yeah.
pepper.
Yeah,
Oh, I-
peppers."
I think I've never. No, I don't. You know, there's a little bit of funk and soul into it. You know what I mean? You make it like to make it fun. You know, peppers.
I think I just never learned how to say shit correctly. There's a lot of stuff I never learned. This ram-headed monster calls the area known as the Camulos Ranch its home. Specifically, it has been encountered on Aliso Canyon Road and occasionally the Wheeler Canyon Road near what once was the Billiwhack Dairy and Ranch. Some stories attribute the location of its nest as being close. Okay, this is just getting very specific. what roads it's near. We can probably skip past that. Refer to as some would say it's closer to the Wheeler Canyon Road, but people think it's more so on the corner of Canyon Road. Anyways,
So it's found an abandoned dairy.
yeah,
dairy
so it
farm?
haunts an abandoned dairy and ranch. So
Okay.
referred to a dairy farm and ranch.
Cheese making cryptids.
Referred to as the Billiwhack monster. The Billiwhack monster. The creature has tormented mostly high school students from the Santa Paula High School. This is a very specific.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just like, did he go to the other high school across
Yeah.
town? He only fucks with kids from this high school. Like it's just
yeah, he's like, man, these
some
guys
football
suck.
rivalry shit.
Yeah. Some Springfield Shelbyville vibe.
Hell yeah, right? So he's only fucking up high school kids.
From this one specific high school.
It'd be crazy if there was just like a high school fight club or something. So all these kids just come home with all these like crazy cuts and bruises or whatever, and they've
Yeah.
gone to the
What happened? I fell.
fucking Billiwhack
Yeah.
monster guy.
Yeah, it's a fucking Billiwhack monster. These teenagers are the primary people who have encountered the half-goat, half-man humanoid creature. It has thrown large 50-pound rocks at their cars and even pounded on the hoods of their automobiles, leaving dents. It has also been reported to carry around a large club. In the 50s, a 9-year-old boy reported being attacked and clawed by a weird animal near the Billiwhack Dairy. He had scratches across his arms and back. Another reference to the creature was in 1964 when it terrorized several hikers for several hours and thus made headlines in a local newspaper. Which newspaper, I'm unsure of. Also in 1964, an LA Times article reported that deputies found a young boy carrying a sword off to slay the beast. The same article...
Hold on, we need to get into that kid because that kid fucking rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna solve this myself, and he just goes off into
He's
the
just
woods
like,
with a
I'm
fucking
fucking
sword.
a 9-year-old
But like
being
this,
like,
but
I'm
the sword's
dealing
too
with
heavy
this.
for it. Like he's just
Dragging
dragging
it.
it.
Yeah, it's like, I'm
Yeah.
dealing with this fucking monster once and for all. Denting the hood of my older brother's car.
Totally, yeah. Fucked up his little brother, like, because like
Yeah.
those sound like sex injuries. It's just like a couple scratches on the
Yeah,
back. You know
that's
what I
a
mean,
little,
right?
like-
A few
They
handprints on
probably
the
should
butt.
have
Like,
looked
that's
more
not-
deeply into that, right?
Yeah,
If this
yeah.
fucking child said he
Yeah,
was
the
attacked
fact that
by
the
a
only
monster, they're
eyewitnesses
like,
so far are children.
Yeah.
What?
right.
Okay. I
This
don't know.
sounds like,
Yeah.
okay. So there's a guy in the old dairy farm fucking kids, basically. Are we all on board with this?
Yeah. Wait, the same article reports that the woman who leased the land once had to hold off 43 children seeking the monster with a shotgun until authorities arrived. That just sounds like a crazy
what
lady.
is going on with these kids, dude? What
There's
kind of
43 of them come looking for the monster, and this lady just pulls out a shotgun.
Also, who's doing the head count that
Yeah.
close?
43.
I feel like they
Which
could have
gets a
overpowered her.
And
Like a
also,
field
okay,
trip? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the specificity of this article for a second, because she knows down to a number of which 43 of these kids are there, but she doesn't know the name of the local newspaper that the story was coming in early. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
So that's fucking, like, the whole thing is weird. But what we have here is a story where parents just don't understand. Parents just don't believe these kids. You know what I mean? And
It's
these
a
kids are just
classic
getting fucked
tale.
up by this thing. And it's a Billiwhack mount monster. And the best thing that they have is just like one pencil drawing. Nobody is taking this seriously. And 43 kids show up to this farm to slay this fucking thing.
Yeah.
It does look like a monster straight out of the 80s, though. It's a
It
very
does.
80s looking
This
monster.
whole this is a bad 80s movie. Like the
Are
I
whole,
was
fucking
just gonna-
great
or
80s.
I was just-
depending on
this is where-
casting, you hear like
this
it probably
is where
rules.
what I was gonna say is that this sounds like the makings of a great like B horror film.
Yeah, this is a Stranger Things.
Yeah,
This is a
exactly.
Stranger-
It's
this
a
is a fucking Stranger
classic,
Things.
Kids
Kids riding their bikes out with swords out to the fucking dairy farm to slay some monster.
It's the classic parents.
Should we just
not
change it to
believing the
Chilliwack
children.
monster? Just like shoot it out here? Like, I mean,
Yeah, but it is
chi-
it's the classic parents not believing the kids. You
Yeah,
know?
totally.
And that's I mean, it's a great foundation. How has this not been made into a movie?
somebody
Yeah,
get
that's-
this girl a laptop.
There's also this, like a dairy farm, an abandoned dairy farm. Terrifying.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell
So scary.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Oh,
just
God,
like-
I
Yeah,
keep
that-
thinking of like the Tumala or like what's
Yeah.
the cheese? The Timaluk? What's the fucking
Timaluk?
yeah?
Yeah.
What if they had a monster?
What if the
Ew.
Timaluk
They
monster?
got good
The
cheese. I'm
Timaluk
just saying.
Like
monster?
Pizza the Hut.
Remember the Trader Joe's down
Pizza
south?
the
Oh my
Hut.
god, it's crazy. You can buy blocks of cheese for nothing.
So getting into this dairy farm, the Billiwhack Dairy, according to the legend, is a decrepit ruin of what once was a state-of-the-art, very advanced and modern dairy farm. It apparently contains underground rooms and tunnels, but is also rumored to be missing walls, which could be attributed to the many decades of disuse. The dairy was started up and run by an August Rubel, who moved to Ventura County in 1922 and established the farm in 1924. He was once a native of Zurich, Switzerland.
There we go.
Also known as Colorado.
Yeah, exactly. South of Denver.
This is interesting. You're gonna like this. He served in the American Field Service in France from 1917 to 1919. The urban legend connects him to the Office of Strategic Services, or the OSS. The OSS was the precursor to the CIA. If the legend is true, the OSS had Reuben performing experiments beneath the dairy, including trying to make a super soldier. The
Now
Billiwhack
we're
monster is apparently a product of this research and experimentation that escaped to haunt the local area.
How is this
Right?
not a film?
Right?
This
dude? Are
fucking
you-
rules.
Right?
What are you
It's
doing?
pretty-
Dude,
Now
this
I get-
whole thing is laid out because, like, the
Yeah.
whole thing at the end is like the CIA is fucking behind all
It's
this
so
shit.
Now I
Oh
believe,
my
like, oh yeah, like 100%. If I was on the on the fence about this at all, like, I mean,
Yeah.
you have drama here, you have
Right?
every-
This is so
everything.
good.
A government conspiracy covers up. Like, I mean, guys,
And now I know, because I opened this up and I was like, this is a long article with like no pictures or anything. Like, why did I choose this? And now I'm like, right, this is a fucking sick story.
oh
Wow.
my God.
Yeah, much
blown
like
away.
much like other secret organizations, the OSS is attached to all sorts of illegal and amoral experiments, ranging from brainwashing techniques, use of various drugs on unsuspecting victims, studies of diseases for use in warfare, and other inhumane practices. This just goes into the history of it. As the urban legend goes, Rubel, is it Rubel or Reuben? Doesn't matter. After performing experiments in Ventura County, was eventually sent overseas and died mysteriously doing secret work for the OSS in 1943. Then it just...
I mean, this goes back, right? Like, so if you're kind of experimenting on people, like, I mean, in the early 1900s in the attempt to make a super soldier, and he comes out with fucking... What, this guy's got, like, antlers and shit, you said?
Yeah.
That's like...
He looks like Into the Wild thing or whatever.
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
Like, those monsters. That's exactly what those look like.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's a little creepier.
Although most accounts of the urban legend state that the Darien Ranch were abandoned, leaving the monster to its own devices, other accounts state that Rubel's wife married Colgate McIsaac, great name.
Wow.
Remarried,
Colgate McIsaac. Shout out to Mike
Colgate
McIsaac.
Shout out to...
remarried to an Edwin Booger. Mary died in 1968, and Booger continued managing and living on the ranch that August Rubel helped build and manage. So if there really is a half goat, half man monster lurking in the depths of Santa Paula, there's a lot of questions regarding what it's doing there and how it got there. Although there's little to no evidence of its existence, some cryptozoologists believe it might be related to or actually a Bigfoot, granted a deformed or disfigured Bigfoot.
They captured a Bigfoot and fucked it, and then it had a baby with goat horns.
I don't think I reject that theory. I like the experimentation, trying to create a super soldier. I don't think.
Well, that's so great because you're gonna tie in Nazis at some point.
Exactly,
Oh, of course, it's everything.
This whole thing is like,
it's the story is amazing.
we
so
have to
good.
we have to make them before the Russians do. You know what I mean? Like this.
For sure.
I mean
they've got their own fucking Bigfoot thing.
That's the thing is like I'm a peaceful person, right? But you have to give it up for like to like war and greed and man's lust for power to really advance science. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Fortunately, that's a big reason why science gets why you guys go for it, because otherwise people wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
There's like so many advancements that are happening every day, and I think that like the like with what do you guys think about the prospect of like AI changing the world?
I mean, it has already changed the world for sure. Yeah, well, I mean, just for the simple fact of autocorrect, like that is AI. Sure. Like, you know what I mean? If you really break it down or whatever that. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna get like. It is wild. This whole thing, this Chat GPT, the whole fucking mission.
It's crazy how like it started making headlines, or people were talking about it more in the last 5 years or whatever. But lately, it's been like, it seems like even more so, like, you know, with the Chat GPT and the AI art and all this, it feels like it's really like kind of coming to a head right now.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if it's like on everybody's phone or if my phone just kind of is giving me stuff that. You know, that
you're in a fucking rabbit hole, sir.
I am in a fucking I'm in a spider web of rabbit holes.
I don't know if everyone's seeing these articles all the time. On
it's basically
they keep clicking on and more keep coming up. It's super weird.
I click on
it's almost as if AI is showing you those things.
I'm fascinated by it, right? Because I think the only thing like what it comes down to is that like I'm at work and I'm just trying to like kill some time, and technology is supposed to make life easier for everybody. And like I just want to like the only thing that I want to do is just make art and be creative. Right? That's like the entire reason that I'm working so hard. And the only thing that I'm seeing AI do is just take creative jobs away from people.
Yeah, that is
like,
the
you know what I
crazy
mean?
part.
We're like going to like enslave the human race or whatever, because the only thing that you're going to be able to do is like plumb and like help each other or whatever, because like any time that you would be motivated enough to write a thrilling, novel or a series of novels or something like that, like you could, plug in those parameters to a computer and in 12 minutes have something that you couldn't write in 12 years. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane.
I think there'll always be a market for it'll be like art will just become vinyl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people will still fuck with it. Like
you know what I mean? Like if it was written by a human, nice. Like
I feel like there is going to be like, even what we're seeing with the writer's strike now, I think there's going to be too much pushback for human like creative jobs to be completely wiped out by AI. Like I don't think that's just people aren't just
because it's not that like it's like at first it's impressive, but I'll be honest with you, most AI like art generated shit that I see is like you can still spot that it's AI.
You know it's AI.
Yeah,
when you
it's got
see
that
it.
stupid smoky background and the fucking
it's not the same as fucking Van Gogh. Like you know, you see the brush strokes and all of that, and same with like AI written stories or like scripts, or there's even there's like an AI like stand up special kind of going around, like a short one.
Somebody
and it was fucking stupid as hell.
Oh, it was
comedy
really
is something that
It'll never. I don't think that'll ever. Because it's personal stories.
They could definitely I'm sure they'll get to a place where it's like, okay, like that's kind of funny or whatever. But I don't think you can replicate
you replicate it yet, right? And I think that's like the scary thing is that like this is only ChatGPT 4.
Yeah.
Right. And like we're just like experiencing, this is just like what they're kind of allowing us to use and us to test and stuff like that. Right. So like, I mean, this is a race now between like Google and Microsoft and like the biggest companies in the world are investing billions of dollars in this thing just to be like the first one. Right. To get there. Right. So it's going to make incredible advancements way too fast. And like it's already doing like insane things like in like the good of this is that like you can free up like human, mind power or to do, other things, right? Like the idea that like you're a doctor and you're coming into the thing we saw in 60 Minutes, like this, a very good explanation is that when you're coming into work, you have like an AI algorithm or whatever that's monitoring all of your patients, and then it's going to give you like a list of what you should get done in order of severity and like what needs your attention first, right? So, if you have like something like that in a case of university is kind of plugging to map out like a DNA strand takes a team of people years to do, right? Because it's so complex and so complicated, and you can plug that same information into an AI thing and just leave it alone and let it do its thing. And now it's coming up with like cures and all this stuff that would have come down the line in the sense of like scientific research and process, right? But you have to do like A and B and like all these things where this thing can just like run overnight and run nonstop and like countless equations and stuff like that. So like there's so much good about it, but at the same time it keeps me up at night because there's locks on it, and there's things that they're making it so it's like an idiot like me can't use it for fun because like AI generated art, like I just wanted like Scooby-Doo in space with laser tits, and I've asked every AI art generator.
It's not doing it right for you, is it?
None of them will do it because I'm saying tits. None of them will draw anything cool. Like you have to,
right?
You know what I mean, right? So until like an AI art generated thing, if there's any flashers out there that know if there's like an adult one, like I just want to, make hilarious art. When like what they're doing is like what would happen if like if Michael Jordan made a toilet? So have you seen like all the Jordan? They have a Jordan 1 and a Jordan 3 and like all these toilets that are in the shape of you listening?
Hey.
Yeah, I am. I'm wondering how much these toilets are.
Yeah.
They have Lamborghinis,
I know a guy can install one.
Maserati ones and shit like that, but nobody has drawn Scooby-Doo with laser tits. Right.
I mean,
so
that
this
is a shame. This is what the crux of your argument is.
100%.
But you're also you haven't paid for any of these, have you? Like about these softwares?
No, I'm afraid of them. I don't want to give them money.
Yeah. So I'm sure if you paid for one, they would.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. If it wasn't just like if it's you actually bought the program rather than using like the free ones online kind of thing, it might do more of what you ask it to.
Yeah, I'm sure
maybe
there's
I
like
go
all kinds of wild shit.
Then and
yeah. But then
I've always wanted to write a book, and you guys might see in the next 6 weeks I have 12 of them published.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting an interesting time we are living in. You know what else is interesting?
The Clash?
The wood booger.
We're going deep.
This one's just kind of a quick fun one. This is a type of Bigfoot originating from Southwest Virginia. The wood booger.
Sounds like we got a bit of a United States tour to go here.
Oh yeah.
What was the last one called? What was this dairy farm?
It was in California.
Because that, how fun would that be to like go to a spooky dairy farm?
Man,
I would hate that.
Well, there's like it's like but like Skinwalker Ranch as well. Like there's so many.
Yeah, it would be cool to kind of.
I mean, I'm going in the day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
fuck?
Fun with that one, dude.
The wood booger is a Bigfoot-like creature said to roam the forests of southwest Virginia. The name wood booger was given to the creature because it was often rumored to carry off young children like the boogeyman.
Oh, that's okay. I was gonna say it sounds like a slur, but I mean,
it does sound like a slur.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for the last like month, every time I open up Safari, I have like fucking wood booger, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah. There have been a particularly large amount of sightings outside the town of Saltville, Virginia. Since this visit, the city of Norton has many attractions named after the wood booger. The city also has been named.
I hear that name like Jesus.
The city has also.
I keep your history, but at the same time, you can acknowledge that it sucks.
Oh. Okay. The city has also been named as a sanctuary for the wood booger since 2014, an annual wood booger festival.
Let's go!
Fucking we're gonna party all over the state.
Oh my god, where visitors can go on guided tours to search for the creature.
Is
my god,
in
this
relation
is amazing.
to Frozen Dead Guy Fest? Like, could we go like back to back weekends?
Colorado and
like
South
that?
Virginia?
and Virginia.
Colorado, well, Virginia's farther east for sure, but
Virginia is kind of out by it's like within driving distance of Montreal.
I want to go so bad because Avail is like a fucking one of the best hardcore bands, and they've just kind of started playing again, and kind of only doing shows like local to that area. So I've been looking for it. We're definitely going to be Virginia bound.
A statue of the wood booger is located at the Flag Rock Overlook. The Wood Booger Bar and Grill is named after the creature. Oh my god, they're doing it right over here.
Dude.
Embrace your shit.
Many local businesses sell merchandise of the wood booger. In September, a geocaching event named the Wood Booger Geo Trail is held in the Flag Rock Recreation Area. Wow. So
the Wood Booger Geo Trail sounds very sexual.
Like, yeah, exactly. 3 people enter, 1 person comes back pregnant.
Dude. What kind of festival is this?
I love a town that embrace. It is kind of similar to Nederland.
Absolutely.
They're embracing, their kooky history.
Totally, right? Unlike the fucking people that are in charge of fucking Oklahoma, is like they're always trying to fucking, you know what I mean, put like negative connotations, Bigfoot hunting seasons, all this bullshit like that. You know what I mean? What you need to do is, make Bigfoot sanctuaries, make a safe space for foot. Right?
Oh yeah,
because
safe foot space.
Safe foot space.
It's important, right? Because why are you trying to, even bring any kind of violence or negativity on the wonders, of your little neighborhood, right? Yeah. Or the cryptid that lives in your spot. I'm all over the wood booger now.
Merch? I want to see this merch.
Oh yeah, there's gotta be some fire merch.
But I also love that the town is just like forgiven it for kidnapping all their kids.
Yeah, right? They've embraced this.
That's
this
like
terrifying
the real opposite
creature.
Freddy Krueger syndrome.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's interesting how
you know what? We didn't like those kids.
Fucking those kids sucked, man.
It's interesting that I guess maybe they don't take it as seriously because it seems like Billiwhack monster, they're legitimately terrified of this thing out there.
Well, yes, there's some government
Booger,
conspiracy
they're making a festival, they're having a statue, they're taking people on tours, they're making merch. It's like I don't think they're respecting the power of the wood booger.
Yeah.
I wonder if parents are if that town just has the most well-mannered kids ever, because if any kid steps out of line, he just gets wood boogered. You know what I mean, right? At some point, you know what I mean? These kids have just all snapped into line, and I think that's why they're probably embracing it and being these kids pick up after themselves. They don't spit gum all over the thing. You know what I mean? They're not running around.
So they do think of it as an outdoor version of the boogeyman. That's the wood booger. Boogie man.
Okay, but what the boogeyman now,
he's a closet guy.
Definitely.
Boogeyman's always been in the closet.
He's always been in the closet.
Yeah, Boogeyman's been in the closet for a minute now.
Jesus, I'm gonna scare the shit out of you.
Oh my god.
Better sleep with one eye open.
Yeah.
I mean,
totally gonna scare you.
Tuck those little toesies in. Ooh. Then let me touch your little feet.
Yeah.
He's just a closet homosexual pedophile.
Yeah. I mean, that's the scariest thing, bro.
That is the scariest thing. Oh no.
I'm smoking too many weeds, and you know what I mean, too much cigarettes, and the thought of I'm a boogeyman rapist in my.
Just the boogeyman's in the closet is so funny, man.
Yeah. That's horrifying to think of.
Yeah, it is. It is horrifying. But shout out to the Wood Booger and shout out to Billiwhack Monster and apologies to Nederland and the Ned heads.
All the Ned heads out there for sure.
Frozen Dead Guy Fest. But why do you guys keep distracting me?
I apologize.
Come on. What do we got? What do we got today?
We picked a doozy today.
That is.
We picked one that goes way back for me and Jonny DeVito.
Absolutely, it does.
We've been waiting to bring this in for a while. Now I want to take credit for bringing it in, but I'm going to say that we're both bringing it.
I definitely would agree.
Goddamn it, we've had to talk about this for some time now, and we've seen each other passing in the street and gone, we'll talk about this.
It needs to be discussed.
One day.
This is the Clash's Sandinista. A very short record.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Real quick morning.
Super good. I'll be honest with you, I have no notes with me right I can't even give you dates and stuff like that.
1980.
80. Okay,
yep.
Great. My favorite Clash album. Also, Flea's favorite Clash album. I will say.
Okay.
Always bringing it back to Pat.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get Jackie.
You got me. Yeah, you got me hooked.
Super different vibe than anything else that I've heard from the Clash.
Definitely.
It's very. I find it to be a very funky and kind of dance album. It is very long.
Oh yeah.
There is
36 tracks, 3
Put aside
albums.
3 hours.
Yeah,
for
which was
one.
a huge just fuck you
Totally.
from Strummer to the record label because they were like, you should do that. And he was like, cool.
The thing is, I think it was Bruce Springsteen put out a double album, and they wanted to do the same thing, and because of like the packaging costs, the shipping costs, like all of these things, right? They ended up taking a massive cut on like the on the royalties of this thing. I think they had to sell like 100,000 records in the States or something like that before they started seeing royalties and stuff.
That's right.
Wow.
Like it's pretty insane the all the stuff that they chose to do for this record. And I think like the thing that has in the ethos of like of music fans love Sandinista. Punks
I will say this. Sometimes this happens when you love an album so much or like certain tracks from an album. In my head, I'm like, I had it in my head as a certain idea, and then I listened to the whole thing a little while ago, and I was like, there is a lot of like, holy fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ, this is wild. It's recorded in like 5 different places.
Yep.
Wow.
And you could tell.
Yes.
It's like 100% you could tell.
There's a lot going on.
But the people who are on it, who help produce it and stuff like that, like, there's some like epic fucking old reggae guys and all sorts of shit.
I think like that's the weird thing about it is that like Joe Strummer's just got to be like the best dude, like with him and Mick Jones kind of like manning the ship for the first 3 records with like Self-Titled and Give 'Em Enough Rope and then London Calling. This is the 4th record in 4 years from them, right? Like after massive touring and shit like that, the amount of output that these guys were putting out from 77 to 1980 is fucking outrageous. And then I think that like for me, I like as like a punk rock fan, it's the sound and the tempo and you know what I mean? Like as punk as like an idea or a philosophy, like I mean there's Slayer albums and Public Enemy albums and things like that are all punk as fuck, you know what I mean? But it's the sound and you know what I mean, that speed, the the energy or whatever of that style of music that I think that is like the thing that kind of gets like lost in the mix here. And I've talked so much shit about Sandinista in my life. And in the past like 3 weeks, because we almost did this when we recorded with Morgan Farrell, we almost did this album, and then so I've had a couple weeks to think about it. And I'm not here to be a dick or like a gatekeeper or say like what's I'm just here to for my opinion and what I like to listen to is that I think Sandinista is a fucking great record for like if you're at a beach and you don't want to keep getting up and every half hour finding a new punk record to fucking like what are we going to listen to now, you can just let 3 hours of some good vibes roll. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like that kind of equates it to like background music to me. And the Clash is nothing of background music. You know what I mean? Right? Like it's such a driving force in my life and everything that they say or whatever.
I feel like this record is easier to swallow once looking at the entire body of work of one Joe Strummer.
Totally.
Because it's like by the end, you know what I mean? He's like going to raves and shit, and like doing weird industrial shit. And you're like, what the fuck is Joe Strummer doing at these weirdo festivals?
Before punk, it was like rockabilly and stuff. So like this as like one of the most punk albums or whatever you like the you could say like with like the message and the drive behind it, there's more like rockabilly and disco and funk and jazz.
I think
on
that's
this
why
album.
I do love it so much because it's funk, but it's super disco heavy.
Yes,
and I do love disco. I just do. It's like really old. It's like it's jazz musicians that just like that's where they went was disco. So like I love all that shit. But it's such a. It's such a good like fucking like dance album. It's put together by these like just by like punk rockers. So it's the sounds in it are very funny. Like there's some very just funny ass sounds in this record.
Yeah, I think I haven't gotten through it yet. I think I don't know. I think I can't like make a judgment until I listen to the whole thing, but I don't know, like, so there's something that just like isn't like clicking for me. I like the one Jonny this morning that they're like England is different. That's like my biggest takeaway from it. So
we were definitely having some fun with it. But I think like
I think I go into all albums with an open mind and kind of expecting to like it because I like most music, but this one it hasn't clicked for me yet, but I also haven't listened to the whole thing. So
there's some absolute bangers on the record. Like the Call Up is unbelievable. Magnificent Seven is like a really fucking good
and I mean to fucking start the album off too and stuff like that. Like it's as much as like an album that might not be like my go-to, you have to like, you know, respect the way that they did do it, and like there's you know, I mean, it's strong as fuck.
I love a juxtaposition band and our songs. So it's like, Magnificent Seven is a great example of this. Because it's like, it's a super disco-y dance, like Studio 54, like shiny balls and fucking big collars and stuff like that. But he's talking about gypsies getting beat up on the pavement. Like, it's the most punk rock. Do like the dancing shit. I do love that. I do enjoy that. But it's, it's like I said, when I listen to it back, I'm like, oh, okay, fuck. There's a lot of filler up in it. There's just like, there's a lot of like, it just doesn't, like I said, you can tell that it's been recorded at different.
That is kind of the feeling. I did feel almost a little disjointed at points where it's like there's so much going on here and I'm not getting the through line yet.
I think like that's it's one of those ones that like that exists. Like when somebody says that like this is like their favorite album, then it's like it's kind of interesting because like there's like you know, some stuff is like you know, like let's say like Public Enemy, or you know what I mean, fucking Slayer, like all these like there's these like standout like we're fucking here albums. This album doesn't feel like that, you know what I mean, right? Like,
I would be hard impressed. Like, do you know people that like this is their favorite album?
I mean, they say it, but I don't believe them.
That's like that's crazy. Yeah, like that's
if it's just like your go-to album,
it is, right? And
like, it's like your favorite. I could say it's probably my favorite Clash album.
Yeah,
but
that's fair. But
even then, I'm like, oh man, like you got to think about that, like
for sure,
that's
right? Like compare, like stack it up to like the hit list of like the, you know, I mean, one of the greatest like rock and roll records of all time in London Calling, or like in my opinion for punk records, like the Clash, like just self-titled, like the first one.
But then but then I also have the crazy. It's that Bob Dylan switch up that I have a tremendous respect for. Of just like you just come out with London Calling and these other like super punk records, and then be like, we're gonna do this triple album that's like
totally
fancy, like,
right? Like
whatever.
For me to have any opinions of Sandinista is silly to me because in the exact same, like if you hold a mirror up to the Clash and like 20 years later you get like Rancid, and I think like the Rancid was the perfect band for their time and like a genre defining 90s thing. They're probably like one of the like they're riding on like the heels of Green Day and stuff like that, so it was like so many kids, me included, like their first initiation into like what is like real punk or whatever was like through Rancid. And I mean you get that with like they're self-titled into Let's Go into and Out Come the Wolves, as like they're starting to get popular and all that shit, major labels are calling, right? And Out Come the Wolves, and then their fourth album, Life Won't Wait gets really spacey because these guys have now toured the world. They've left California. They've seen so many different things. They had the opportunity to record,
play with other people, to record with people, and experience other music. And
Life Won't Wait is a fucking long album that's recorded in 5 different places by my favorite band, and I have it tattooed on my fucking arm. So like, how do you fucking hate on this because it's what I mean? It's the same thing but in a different just done by different people.
There is though like a difference between like a band kind of progressing and changing versus like what feels like a deliberate decision to like make a left turn. You know?
Yeah. But that's like that is fucking Joe Strummer. And he was like, "Oh, you think I'm that? I'm fucking doing this."
Yeah,
and like the way that they did this too, like he kind of like created this creative space for everybody to kind of come and jam, and like it's really weird because I think it's like a meandering album, and that Joe Strummer's probably just the nicest guy in the world because he's gonna invite 40 musicians and he doesn't have the heart to cut any of them off the record. Like every single person gets
we'll keep that one in.
We'll have a 4-minute dub fucking version of this thing with no lyrics over it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that's what kind of it's those jams that make the a long album feel like stretch even longer and stuff. But it's really cool the way that he did it because I mean you have the opportunity to play with all these people that you respect, and they kind of took this like very famous recording studio in New York, and Joe Strummer just made like a spliff room. So it was like his whole thing for this record was that the engineers and the sound guys, you're not partying, you know what I mean, in that part of the studio because like the guys that are recording this need to be on the ball, but we're all going to be high as fuck smoking in the spliff room and coming up with the next thing. So like as those guys are mixing and recording, they have a demo of that thing, then they're okay, cool, then set up the mics and we're going to come back in with what we were just talking about, right? So like the whirlwind and the creativity and like the way that it came together was so much different than like 1977 we have something to say and like you know what I mean, London's burning and all that stuff. So like you can like the growth or whatever like is there, and to do it in like a really like kind of cool community way again is punk as fuck. It's the most punk album of all time.
They're changing like England changed.
That's just a great Joe Strummer impression overall. Just be like, London and England is burning.
And it's not as different than it was before. It's
not like it used to be. It's changing. England.
They don't have
people in the streets. England.
They don't have kitchen roll. They have paper towel. They don't have a bathroom. It's a loo.
You need an adapter for your hairdryer.
Don't get in my truck. Get in my lorry.
That was my favorite thing that ever happened on the show.
Another thing about England, fun plumbing fact about England, with the faucets. It's not one fucking faucet. They have a hot and a cold, and you have to put it together yourself.
Oh, babe, you're adorable. That was here for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I don't mean there's separate
like
fucking
individual hot faucet.
Yeah.
The whole faucet.
The whole faucet is two separate things. But I'm
gonna blow your mind. We're gonna go to my kitchen right now.
I grew up in a really old house, and that was kind of the same thing.
Well, that's the norm in old jolly old England.
Well,
they haven't
so what
evolved.
you just cross swords with your
exactly.
faucet?
You have to
go a little
fucking
bit
be
cold,
like
a little hot.
It's kind of weird. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fun plumbing fact about Australia. I've never known, but if anybody can like tell me if this is true, the water does go the other way.
Yep.
Cool, but
I was saying the Simpsons did do a whole episode.
Okay. But the average outlet for like North American toilets is 3 inches. In Australia apparently it's 4 inches, and they sell toilets like one of their marketing schemes or whatever. So they'll just throw like 5 or 6 coconuts in a toilet and flush them all down. Like you just can't plug an Australian toilet.
Oh, I have heard that.
Yeah,
that you can flush anything down in Australian.
Coconut. You cocaine?
You can flush a lot of blow down an Australian toilet.
So wait, so is it like the toilets are like the hole?
It's the same size. It's just the hole on the bottom is just.
That's what I mean. It's like the hole is massive on the bottom.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's a
little
scary.
Do you feel like that's a better system?
It depends, really, because as long as
when you have coconuts in the pipes.
I think like in the sense of drain cleaning and stuff like that, it definitely I would go ahead and say that I'm all for it. I can't think of a negative about it unless like except for like a bigger snake or an animal.
You can't have them too big; they'll come crawling up.
Well, that's kind of the thing, right?
Oh yeah, and
not a good place for a big toilet hole.
I was gonna say that is a thing where they'll have like snakes in their toilets and shit.
Could you imagine just getting a little like a little Slytherin lick on the back?
That's the word. That's the least you were.
Yeah.
Bidets for that.
It's kind of nice. Yeah. That is because I really would love to like go to Australia and New Zealand. It looks like such a cool area of the world, but the fucking amount of poisonous things there that can just like get in and fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
Like not even like kangaroos will fuck you up, and they have like kind of bigger predators like that, but the fucking snakes and spiders that can just like get in your shit and just like appear, and you're like,
yeah, if I'm in any place, you just have to check your shoes before you put on it because you might
lived it for like 3 years.
That's fucking
and when I went from that resort to like the main island still had shit, but not nearly as much because it was so populated. There's trucks and stuff, so like the vibrations and stuff, just like don't fuck with all that stuff. But then I went back because I had to go run a sister hotel, and when I went back to the resort, you kind of just get accustomed to not doing that stuff all the time anymore, right? And so I was like, and I had my boxing gloves like there, and I like went to go fucking put it in, and it's like massive tarantula.
Oh my god!
I had a tarantula nest underneath my casita, and it's like spiders lay like thousands of eggs.
Yeah,
it was just like so many. I'd find so many baby tarantulas like everywhere. I came in my room one time, and there was like on this lamp, and it was on the lamp, and it was casting this like massive shadow.
Oh
my
it was
god!
the scariest fucking shit. So many snakes. So many fucking. I was showing Dara Burke all these pictures. I'm like, yeah, these are all the fucking snakes we had to off on the
spiders. I can't like spiders. Really freak me out.
There's some fucking gnarly ones there too, or like scorpions too.
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, scorpions. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is that I think it was Peter who we were talking to, and who's like showed a picture, was talking about like these massive fucking spiders they have in Australia, and I was like, oh, and he was like, no, those are the good ones. Those are good ones. You want the big ones. I'm like, no, I don't want any of them.
They say that about scorpions for sure too. They're like, it's always like these like little ones that are like, no, the little black ones will fuck your life up. But it's like if you get stung by like, the bigger like reddish kind of ones, it's not. It sucks. I've been stung by one, but it's not. Like, it's awful, but it's not. It's like a really really bad bee sting. But I know that little ones can like kill you and shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh god. That's terrifying.
Anyways,
keep an eye out for the wood booger and the Billiwhack monster.
Plan out this little fucking loop here.
Oh
yeah. I'm really excited because we also there is still looming in the back of my mind that that Bigfoot center in Oregon.
Yes.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
If we could do Oregon down to
California,
Billiwhack monster, then just like east to Colorado and to Virginia. I mean, we could do like.
Would you do it two separate kind of thing? We'll figure it out.
I mean,
I think like a west.
It all depends on the time of the events, right? Like
exactly.
we have to be there for the festivals.
How much time? Yeah, of course, the festivals we have to. Colorado is. Is it more like it's central? It's by like
Central
Utah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're Canadian.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about it, like we'll drive it there. Like the distance.
We're like, hey, what's the route we could take?
Drove to fucking Minneapolis. It took fucking 3 days or something like that. But more about that on the next episode.
When I was moving back home from after I graduated university in Montreal, we went through the States. But that trip, I don't know, it took like 5 days. But we stopped. We went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and stuff, and so we kind of took our time there. But it doesn't take that long. But it's a lot of driving.
It's 3 days. Yeah, it's a fucking shitload of time in the car. But you know what I mean? That's what we're about. We're road warriors.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, don't forget it.
Final thoughts on Sandinista?
Good record.
Yeah,
put an
afternoon aside if you want to give it a go.
Aside.
I will
go to the beach, put it on in the background.
It's a great beach out for sure. I agree with that. All right.
Hell yeah. Sorry, what did I say? Did I cut you off?
No. I was just shaking my head at you saying it's a great, album's a great music to put on in the background.
Yeah, I know.
You know, you said the same thing when I brought on, it was for like episode 2, I brought on Jimi Hendrix. Electric Ladyland, one of the best albums of all time, of rock and roll, so monumental.
Got background over here.
He was like, "This would be a great album to have on playing in the background of a party." Go fuck yourself, dude. Anyways, Signing off.